So how about it? Let's get out of that cubicle of yours and head to the ballpark. It's a day game from Camden Yards. It's the Orioles en masse on a summer day here at Camden Yards, and for the Orioles, yet another big ball game against the White Sox, wrapping up this 4-game stand, and the Orioles with an opportunity to take 3 out of 4 if they could come away with a victory in this ball game. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Gary Thorne for the Orioles. Every one of them is important now as we close in on the end of August, as the O's in the chase, both after the Yankees. That's the team they're going to play next in New York, and for that wild card spot. We'll update you on all of those numbers as we get into the game. This week, we've taken a look at some of the Oriole players who have made a big difference for this team. One of them, at the plate, has provided power. 23 home runs, Chris Davis. Davis has been outstanding in the power department, and that is exactly why the Orioles acquired him. He is only 26 years old. He was playing AAA ball in Texas in 2010, and every day Buck Showalter kept looking at the numbers and going, why aren't they calling him up? Why aren't they calling him up? And finally said, if they're not going to call him up, we want him. Well, the Orioles got him. Career highs in homers, 23, 64 RBIs, 15 of 23 home runs have been hit here in his home yard, hitting .351 from the 6th spot in the order. And you see, since the All-Star break, a big 9 home runs and 24 RBIs. And Mike Bordick, he's made a difference.
He sure has. I mean, what a great pickup, obviously, by the Orioles to get Chris Davis. There was always that power potential. He put up tremendous numbers in the Texas minor leagues, and then when he had opportunities with Texas, so they take a chance, they bring the young hitter over here, and he has flourished. Really huge in the American League East to add that kind of power potential, and he has been consistent, even in limited playing time here recently. Started off the season as an everyday player, but not playing quite as consistently, but every time he gets up there, he does something great with the bat.
And speaking of a Texas connection, how about Pedro Strop? Has he made a difference? Well, he is, of course, the setup man for the Orioles. For this 27-year-old, he came from Texas on waivers. He had appeared in only 33 games with the Rangers over a 3-year period, and everywhere the Orioles have gone this season, the question that is asked of the Orioles manager is, how did you come up with this guy? Because this guy is 5th in holds, the 2nd best reliever ERA, opponent batting average is 10th, 3 home runs allowed since the All-Star break, and a major part of getting Jim Johnson on for the close.
Yeah, this guy is something special. Arguably the best setup man in the game right now when you have Jim Johnson right behind him to close out games. What an incredible 1-2 punch. But he's been consistent, and that's been a key. He was always a little bit inconsistent with his command. This year he's throwing a lot of strikes, 98-mile-an-hour fastball with great movement in the zone and one of the hardest sliders in the game, and he has been consistent and successful.
So those are two who have made a difference for the Orioles this year. And on the mound, the Orioles continue to try and stretch out their starters a little bit as far as times between starts. Again, an extra day's rest. Zach Britton, what do we look for today?
Well, hopefully strong, but he's had 2 great outings back-to-back. There's been some inconsistencies with him up until this point, but he's been developing his delivery, been more consistent with that, and if he can be aggressive in the strike zone, he's going to have success. I mean, that 2-seam fastball that he throws up there moves all over the place in the zone. Maybe this extra day's rest gets him a little bit stronger. He's able to go deep in the ball game, but I think there's a lot of positives with Zach Britton coming into today's ball game, especially able to lock into a consistent delivery over his last 2 starts.
And how about we talk about our SunTrust Inside the Numbers? Exploring your financial options, SunTrust can help find new ways to move forward. There you see the record this season for Zach Britton. First 5 starts, the last 2 you were talking about really special.
Oh, incredible numbers right there, 2-0, but that 1.32 earned run average, and that's all about just throwing strikes. His stuff is so good, and it plays if it's in the strike zone. He can pitch to contact, get a lot of ground balls, and get himself out of jams.
All right, for the Orioles, they'll look to make it 3 out of 4 against the White Sox. When we come back, we'll get off the slide, get the kids into their seats, start ripping and roaring. Game 4 coming up. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. It is a summer afternoon here at Camden Yards. Take a look at our train game time temperature. We are at 82 degrees. Few clouds around and not much of a breeze at all. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Robin Ventura's White Sox, brought to you by Dodge. Wise, Lopez just called up today. Dunn, Konerko, Rios, Brzezinski's back in. Visaedo, Ramirez, and Beckham. Ramirez has had a very fine series against the Orioles. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
And here is the AFCIA Intelligence Report this afternoon for Zach Britton. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Stay locked in. Boy, has he had two great starts. Made some adjustments out in the bullpen with Rick Adair, and he's had a more consistent delivery, and that allows him to attack the zone. Man, his two-seam fastball has great life. He has really good secondary pitches. If he can throw them for strikes and do some contact, he's going to have some success. And help yourself. Obviously, fielding your position, controlling the running game is crucial. Zach has been a little inconsistent with that this year. He's got to help himself out there, take advantage of those opportunities.
Zach Britton against the Chicago White Sox has a 1-0 record. His only start May of last year. Got the win, 1 run, 5 hits, 3 walks, over 6 innings. And we are underway. And the pitch is in there for a strike. DeWayne Wise leading it off as he has throughout this series. He's gone 2 for 12 in the series. Very fine month, though, filling in for Deaza, their center fielder. Deaza is in the rehab process on his way back to the ball club. They expect to have him back maybe for the weekend. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Wise will turn on a pitch that rides up and in. Did he go? Yes. A strike called. He tried to get away from that pitch, moved the wrong way, though, and Marvin Hudson down to third base said 1-2.
Yeah, had to turn it up a notch. Zach Britton has a live fastball, and that one just explodes up and in. Gets the call on that check swing.
And a swing and a miss. Strikeout for Britton.
Nice breaking ball here. I'll tell you what, if he can get to his secondary pitches, he's going to have a lot of success. This one, perfect location. Nice late break off the plate at the end. Gets a swing by Wise.
The White Sox come in 20-19 on the year against left-handed starters. Zach Britton will miss outside with that one. And here is Lopez. Lopez just called up. Jose Lopez, he's a veteran. He's appeared in over 1,000 games. Seattle, Colorado, Florida. That ball hit in the air to left field. It is deep near the wall. It's going to take a hop and go up and over. So Lopez didn't take long to have an impact, as he will pick up the double in the ball game. He's making the start at third base for the White Sox today.
Now this fastball here by Zach is up in the zone, and when he's up, it stays flat. When he's down, he gets great life. See Nate McLouth giving chase, but just too much up over the head, bounces into the stands, gets that ground rule double.
And our Nissan pitch track. Get to Nissan Summer Saving Days. The event ends September 4. Visit ChooseNissan.com and hurry into your local Nissan dealer. And here is Dunn. Adam Dunn, the designated hitter, will take the pitch outside for a ball. Dunn has a 3 for 10 in this series. Runner in scoring position number, not very good, at 211. Leads in strikeouts, leads in walks, and leads in home runs. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball, 2-0. We're done against the left-handers this year. He's hitting a 199. Only 209, though, against righties. 14 home runs against lefties. And a swing and a miss and a pitch down, 2-1.
Nice pitch right there, 93 miles an hour. Never, ever been a question about stuff with Zach Britton. Just command, controlling that strike zone.
Britton here at home this year, 1-0, 6.23. He's had 3 home starts. Runner off second, Lopez, 2-1 delivery on the way, and Dunn will swing through that one. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Day game favor the pitcher or the hitter?
I think it favors the pitcher, especially a pitcher that has a little extra rest. The everyday players obviously used to the grind of playing, but especially earlier day games takes a little while to get it going.
And he got him. So 2 strikeouts for Zach Britton. Dunn goes down.
A nice little two-seam fastball. You see this late action that just drops underneath Dunn's bat right there. Beautiful fastball from Zach Britton. And here's a look at the Orioles defense tonight. This afternoon, Nate McLouth in left, Jones in center, Markakis in right, Machado and Reynolds on the corners, Hardy and Andino up the middle. Taylor Teagarden gets the start behind the plate.
Dunn's 187th strikeout. And the pitch will be taken on the inside corner for a strike, Paul Konerko. Konerko playing at first base again. .315, 4th best average in the American League. He has had a couple of hits and 11 at-bats. All of these White Sox in the lineup, if they've had any at-bats, it's very limited against Zach Britton, with only 1 game that Britton has pitched against the White Sox in his career. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
And that goes advantage to the pitcher as well. Saw what happened last night with Axelrod for the White Sox. Really carved up the Orioles, just the unfamiliarity with them. So you get new faces up there, and big league hitters takes a little while to figure it out.
Konerko against the lefties on the year at .271. He's .330 against right-handers. The White Sox exploded in the ball game last night to get those 4 runs in the first inning and put the ball game away. In effect, it was over after that. Joe Saunders, the left-hander, making his debut. A tough start for the Orioles, with the White Sox bats that have been very quiet on the road came alive in the game last night. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Konerko takes it, and that one will just miss inside.
Good pitch. We were talking last night about, another advantage for Zach Britton is the fact that he got to see Wei-Yin Chen have success against this White Sox lineup. Of course, a left-handed pitcher, and then Saunders not have much success, especially early in that ball game, that first inning especially. They're finding ways to get these White Sox hitters out.
Little chopper to Andino. He'll make the play and record the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And for Britton, who's given up 9 runs in the first inning this year, none there. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Markakis, Hardy, and Jones, Reynolds, Ford, McLouth, Machado, Andino, and Taylor Teagarden. Wieters is going to get the day off, at least to start. Nick having a tremendous month of August.
And here is the AFC Intelligence Report this afternoon on Jose Quintana. Good rookie indeed. 5-2 record with a 2.86 earned run average. I was talking to Joe McEwing earlier today about him, and he said he is fearless and a great competitor. Cut it out. You're going to see a lot of cutters. He throws a 4-seam fastball that has a natural cut to it, and also another true cutter that has great lateral movement across the strike zone. But lately had some command issues. 4 walks in each of his last 2 games, but he went on a streak earlier in the season where he had faced 100 batters without a walk. So there's some concern with this young arm that maybe the inning total's adding up too much, because he's never thrown over 102 innings this year, up past 110 now.
And Nick Markakis will take the pitch outside. The Orioles know that, so they're probably going to try and work him a little bit, get ahead on the count, get some fat pitches. Markakis, 4-game hit streak, 3 for 11 in the series. And the delivery to him would be foul back. Quintana's had real problems getting the first batter of the game out there, hitting .389 against him this season. Only 23 years old, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Markakis. He's had a great road record. He's not lost on the road. He's 3-0 with a 3 ERA in road games. Tried to take a little off the breaking ball, but it's going to miss outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Look at his road starts without a loss. Look at that, Jose Quintana. 9 road starts since back in May.
That ground ball will go to second base. Beckham's got it. And Markakis retired.
Take a look at the White Sox defense this afternoon. Viciedo, Weiss, and Rios in the outfield. Lopez over at third base. Ramirez at short. Beckham playing second. Paul Konerko over at first. And A.J. Pierzynski back behind the plate.
I asked this morning at third base with Lopez being called up and playing about Kevin Youkilis, who we thought may have been limping a little bit last night coming off. And at least publicly what they're saying is, no, there's nothing wrong with him. We just wanted to give him a day of rest. Ventura is trying to kind of walk a tight line here with pitching and position players going into that big series in Detroit starting tomorrow. But he said Youkilis is fine. He could have played, could have started, and could be in the game today. Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy with a 2 for 11 in the series. Had his hit streak ended at 7 games in the ball game last night. Hitting at .231 down to third, and Lopez makes the catch. Well, for the first game back added to the roster today, Lopez has already had a double and a nice catch.
Yeah, and that is a bullet off the bat of Hardy. Tough plays in the daytime. Get a lot of glare coming off the stands, especially if there's not people filling them up. Lopez makes a nice play to stay with it.
So 2 down, Adam Jones. Adams had a tough series, only 1 hit in 11 at bats, the home run. He's had a tough year against the White Sox. He's hitting only .207 against the White Sox this year with 3 home runs, but he does have 5 RBIs in those at bats. Numbers for day games for Adam, who's been a very good day game hitter. Here's the 1-0 delivery. The White Sox made a number of moves today. Lopez called up from AAA. Tyler Flowers is gone on paternity leave. He caught in the game last night. Catcher Hector Jimenez from Charlotte has been brought up. They transferred Brian Bruni, who's having left hip surgery, to the 60-day, and they released Gregory Infante. So 5 moves made today, and then 1 last night. The winner last night, Dylan Axelrod, was sent down after the ball game. He will be back come September 1st. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and Jones will take it up high, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Here's the 2-2 from the left-hander, and Jones will foul that one back into the screen. Flags today are flying at half mast, so when you see them out there, just so you know, it's in honor of the death of the last World War I American veteran, who was 110 years old, who passed away last night. 2-2 delivery and a ground ball going to short, played by Ramirez over to first base, and that will retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down. Both pitchers start out in the first inning well off, and we'll be back. No score after. By Luna. Call for the Luna double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Don't want to leave that World War I vet who passed away. Frank Buckles is his name. Passed away last night and is he's being buried today in Arlington with full military honors. He entered the Army at the age of 16, lied about his age in order to get in World War I out of Charlestown, West Virginia, where he was living, and passed away at the age of 110. It's amazing. The last World War I veteran. Wow. We go to the second inning. It'll be Rios leading it off. He's had a 2 for 10 so far in this series. And we'll go after the first pitch and fouls it away.
Nice first inning by Zach Britton. Good life throwing strikes. Had some trouble in the early goings of some ball games here. First and second inning have kind of been a tough spot for Zach, but when he gets through, settles in, finds his rhythm, been pretty dominant.
Those first 2 innings, as is true with a lot of starters, been troublesome for him. A 1-ball, 2-strike count for Britton this season. If he gets ahead on the count, 0-1. After that, hitters are 231. If he doesn't, they're 269. Up the middle. Fortunately, didn't hit him. That is a base hit. So Rios is on with a leadoff single here in the second inning. Our Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant of the game is Grant Williams from Berlin. Grant has already won 500. You get 100 more for every strikeout recorded by the Oriole pitchers today. You can turn your non-winning Strike It Rich scratch-offs into cash and enter to win great O's prizes at mdlottery.com/strikeitRich. We have our own cheerleader today who will come and go through our ball game loudly. Here's Brzezinski. A.J. Brzezinski's had an 0 for 7 in this series. Set out the ball game last night. Last 5 games he's 0 for 14. And he will take that one for a strike. Still hitting a 288 on the year. 14 doubles, 23 home runs, and 70 RBIs. And back behind the plate for this ball game. Runner at first base. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Chopper. There is a play at second. Gets the 1 and almost got 2. I'll tell you something. Brzezinski was so slow going down that Tim McClellan, the first base umpire, had already started walking out to right field. He didn't think there was going to be any kind of a call made. And almost. I mean, this is close.
It sure is.
You don't see the first base umpire in your picture because he'd walked away thinking the play was over.
Yeah, good play by Zach Britton, though. I mean, he's been a little rusty out there, almost a little too eager sometimes to make plays, overrunning balls, but got himself under control. Made sure he got that force out at second base and let J.J. Hardy try to do the rest.
So they get the lead runner. Visaedo up, takes the pitch down low. Visaedo's had a 3 for 11 in this series. Comes in with a 255 number, 12 doubles, and 19 home runs on the season. Britton's pitch to him. He's going to be a base hit into right field. Stopping at second base, Brzezinski. Visaedo's on, and that'll be the 3rd hit for the White Sox so far in the ballgame. The Orioles are in the hunt for the postseason, and now's the time to back the Birds. Place a deposit on the 2013 full or partial season plan, including a convenient 13-game plan. You'll be guaranteed an opportunity to buy 2012 Orioles postseason tickets before the general public. For details, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com/postseason. Here's Ramirez, who has really been a pain in the backside for the Orioles here in this series. And he will take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, both offensively and defensively. I mean, he's had a nice series.
Against the Orioles this year, he's hitting .409 on the year. In this series, he's gone .449. 0-1 the count. Runners on first and second base. That'll be at third and foul. Sox picked it up last night, 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position. In the series now, they are 7 for 23 with runners in scoring position. And he gets a chance here. They have the best average in the American League as a team, 291. with runners in scoring position on the year. And Britton will back off. Lead runner Pierzynski very slow at second base. Saedo good speed at first. And the 0-2 goes down to third again, and that one's foul. Saedo has just torn it up against left-handers. He's hitting .337 off lefties this year, which is more than 100 points higher than he does against right-handers. And he is ranked 5th in the American League in batting average against lefties. Ramirez waiting, the 0-2 delivery. That one is hit the other way. He's been out in front of the last 3.
Yes. Take a look at Zach Britton. Earned run average by inning. That first through third, you see that lofty 6.53 earned run average. But after that, he settles down pretty nicely. You can get him into the 7th plus. It starts to go back up. Obviously, pitchers tire a little bit at the end, but nice to see good numbers in the middle of the ball game.
Runners off first and second will wait. Against Britton this year with runners in scoring position, opponents are hitting .270. Almost the same number they have overall, which is .279 against Zach Britton. 0-2 the count. Ramirez waiting. And he's going to be trouble again. Lead runner's going to be waved. Tom Jones should be able to get him. Here's the throw to the plate. Teagarden there, tag put on, and he is out. They took the chance. Joe McEwing, third base coach, sending a very slow Pierzynski, and Adam Jones records the assist.
A lot of times you get to the bottom of a lineup, and even though Ramirez and Beckham have been swinging the bat well in this series, you have to take a chance. Ramirez, nice job getting a base hit on a high fastball from Zach Britton, but Joe McEwing, obviously knowing the outfield arms, but Adam Jones, one of the best in the game, throws a strike to Taylor. A.J. Pierzynski not even sliding there, tries to get out in front. You see that tag. Nice job by Taylor Teagarden.
And a big second out recorded right there. Here's Gordon Beckham. There are 2 on, 2 down. Beckham has had one of his better series of the year against anybody. He's gone 4 for 11 in the series, and against the Orioles he's hitting .273 this year. You compare that to his overall .232 batting average. And the pitch is away, and the count will go to 2-0 from Britton.
Saw Taylor Teagarden right there kind of gesture to Zach Britton with his glove. Like, that's what I like to see. Nice movement on his fastball down in the zone. Early in this ball game, though, every pitch that's been hit for a base hit has been up in the zone.
That's going to be another one to center field. They're going to wave around Saedo. Jones is going to try it again, not this time. An RBI base hit for Beckham, so he continues hot at the plate, and the White Sox have a 1-0 lead. And a tough start right here for Britton.
Yeah, up middle of the plate, dead center of the plate. Beckham being hot, swinging the bat well, as you mentioned in this series, and he takes advantage of a mistake right down the heart, drives it up the middle.
49 RBIs for Beckham, who's been in that number 9 spot primarily. That's not bad for a number 9 hitter.
Now Ramirez and Beckham both have pretty good RBI numbers to the bottom of the lineup.
Leadoff man DeWayne Wise, swing and a miss. Teagarden blocks it. Ramirez at third base, Beckham on at first, a run in. That's 4 hits in the inning and 5 in the ball game off Zach Britton. Wise a strikeout victim, his first time up. For the Orioles starter, 17 career home starts prior to this one, 7 wins, 5 losses. ERA of 3.6 lifetime here at Camden Yards. And a little lob toss over to first base to get Beckham back. If you're managing early in the ball game, what if Beckham takes off? There are 2 down. Ramirez good speed at third. Do you throw through?
Early in the ball game, throw him out at second base.
Teagarden's thrown out 1 of 4. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Good breaking ball. In there for a strike, 0-2 on Wise. Teagarden's looking over to get directions for just that situation in the dugout, and then he goes out, gives the signs to the infield and what they're going to do.
Well, the beauty of it is, here in the early part of the ball game, even if Beckham goes, J.J. Hardy is such a good veteran out there. If he sees that Ramirez gets a good jump and goes as soon as Taylor Teagardner turns his shoulder, he'll just step up and throw him out at the plate.
Runner not going here, and the pitch will be taken inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
A lot of that, too, depending on what Beckham does. If he's trying to steal the run and comes up short, then you'll see J.J. Hardy come up. If not, J.J. will just take that out, 2 outs.
Against Zach Britton on the season, base stealers have gone just 1 out of 3. Not a lot of chances have been taken. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Big play at the plate looms even larger with Adam Jones throwing out Pierzynski, picking up his 7th assist of the year to get 1 of the outs here. 1-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. So Britton will get the strikeout. That'll be his 3rd, a run in on 4 hits. 2 are left on base, and the White Sox grab the early lead. Kia.com. The day games we were talking about, the Orioles 23-12. They've got the big win percentage.
Yeah, a lot of success in day games, and unfortunately they're going against one of the hotter pitchers during day games. He has very small numbers when he pitches in the afternoon.
Matt Wieters getting a break, talking some baseball with the skipper on the bench. And the first pitch fouled back by Mark Reynolds. Reynolds with a 1 for 8 in this series. Quintana on the mound, we were talking about numbers he's put up. They have been pretty amazing. This was a guy signed by the Yankees as a free agent, played 3 years in their farm system, and then the White Sox picked him up at the end of last year. Just 23 years old. It's only his 17th major league start and his 19th major league appearance. And in the 7 day games he's worked in, including 5 starts, his ERA is .88. See, that's pretty low.
Yeah, that is
low. 3rd lowest in baseball for a day game ERA. Hard to believe there anybody lower. And the pitch will be taken down low, and a 1 ball 2 strike count. Mark Reynolds, Ford, and McLouth due up against the left-hander. Quintana's 1-2 delivery, and that 2 is going to miss down low. Reynolds has really had great batter's eye going here in this series. He has not gone after pitches, and he's drawn some walks that have mattered.
Yeah, he's nice and quiet up there in the box. I know early on, real aggressive, trying to hit the ball out of the stadium every swing. And really, I mean, he's not shortening up per se, but he's just a lot quieter with his approach in there, seeing the ball much better, and actually all of his numbers are slowly on the climb.
Just looking to see why Quintana would be just third in ERA in the daytime. He doesn't qualify. He hasn't pitched enough innings. That's why he's not ranked by MLB. The best ERA in the day is Hideki Kuroda, whom the Orioles are going to face in New York. His ERA is .84. So if Quintana qualified for that, he'd be second in the league. Ball put up in the air, high sky. These will be tough. Wise comes in, gets underneath it, and had all kinds of help from his shortstop second baseman pointing up as to where the ball was. One away. Lou Ford has had quite the series. He'll come in with a 3-game hit streak, back-to-back home runs for the first time since 2005, as Ford's had a 3 for 8 against the White Sox.
Man, showed his power, went to right field first night and then pulled the ball. So power to all fields. Good to see him back in the lineup.
He's the DH in the ball game today, and the pitch will be taken for a strike against the White Sox. The 3 for 8, 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. And another one put up in the air, right field, right center. Rios and Wise both there. Rios has it lined up, and there are 2 down. Here's what it looks like. This is the final game now of the season, regular season, between these 2 ball clubs. Here's how they've matched up.
Yeah, pretty much dead even, except for the home runs by the Orioles, way up there with 11 compared to the 4 by the White Sox. But everything else pretty evenly matched. The Orioles have the wins with 5, White Sox just 2. Very similar teams. We had talked about how comparable the offenses are, and really how they tick, and that's why the Orioles have had success. Just the home runs quite a bit higher than the White Sox when they go head to head.
Both teams rely on the homers. Here's Nate McLouth, the 4 for 10 in this series, starting in left field again. Breaking ball away. Orioles here at home against the White Sox have gone 2-1, and of course guaranteed a season series win. The Orioles last year they split, and for the last 5 years the Orioles have either won or split the series. And that shattered the bat. Right back to Quintana. He'll make the play over to first base, and he has retired the first 6 Orioles faced in the ball game. 2 complete at Camden Yards. The White Sox on top 1-0. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Barry Thorne and Mike Wardick here at Camden Yards, part of the great sculptors out there in the picnic area. Talk about day-night games and extra rest. Well, Zach Britton is working on an extra day's rest.
Yeah, pretty good numbers there too, and we've seen Buck Showalter push a lot of his staff back a couple days to give them that extra rest. The innings are starting to mount up a little bit, but you see the success there with 5+ days. Nice numbers.
Really what's happened is Buck Showalter is using a 6-man rotation, but it's not named that and doesn't come out that way, but that's the way it's working.
Yeah.
With all these extra days rest. Strike in the outside corner, 2 in a row against Lopez, who doubled his first time up.
Potentially could end up having maybe a 7-man rotation when Hamill comes back and Randy Wolf out there. See how he's going to utilize the pitching staff throughout the month of September. But, you know, there is some concern with some of the pitchers. Chen, obviously, guy that innings are really starting to get up there, and he you know, uncharted territory, so trying to keep him fresh.
Lopez. And that ball is going to be fouled off. Jose Lopez with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Speaking of Randy Wolf, he pitched here at the ballpark today and is supposed to be activated tomorrow if all went well today. And we've not heard anything official on that. I'm sure they'll wait until after the ball game. But Wolf here at Camden Yards today to work for the coaches.
Yeah, he was out talking with pitching coach Rick Adair, trying to get familiar with what he has to offer and maybe potentially what will best suit the Orioles and him, you know, to keep them successful down, because they may put him out in the pen with Troy Patton going on the disabled list with that sprained ankle. Need another good lefty out there.
Buck Showalter was, as usual, non-committal on that. Said he's available either to start or relieve. 2-2 delivery, and that one's going to be fouled off.
Well, you've seen how Buck and Rick Adair have used a lot of the pitchers, especially some of the younger ones. Randy Wolf, obviously a great veteran, but the versatility. And we've seen Steve Johnson have some starts and come out of the bullpen, and that can happen with probably 3 or 4 of the Orioles pitchers.
2-ball, 2-strike count. You heard the boos there. Adam Dunn was trying to throw the ball into the stands and hit the screen twice. It's only 8 feet away. Here's the 2-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. He got him. Teagarden will tag him just to be sure. And Britton gets the strikeout. 2 in a row, 4 in the game.
A good pitch here. Down in the zone. Hard slider right there. Nice little block by Taylor Teagarden holding on to it. Real good pitch.
Teagarden's making just his 10th start behind the plate. But it's tough trying to keep yourself ready. Matt Wieters, of course, getting all the playing time.
It sure is. But, you know, a tribute to him and a lot of the players, especially that don't get opportunities to play. They know what they need to do to keep themselves going, because every game now is so important. You can't go in there rusty. You have to be fresh, even though you've been on the bench for 5 days.
Yep. Dunn, a strikeout victim his first time up. And he will foul that one off outside of first base. Interesting note that Adam Dunn is trying to join Babe Ruth in a category as the only players in baseball history to lead the majors in home runs, walks, and strikeouts. Only Babe Ruth. And Dunn's got a shot at it this year. Ruth did it 3 times, 1923, 1924, and 1927. And Dunn is up there among the leaders in all those categories: home runs, walks, and strikeouts. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's going to be taken down low, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Zach Britton with 1 away, working here in the 3rd inning. White Sox a run on 5 hits, while the Orioles are looking for their first base hit of the ball game. Here's the 2-2. And swung on and missed. Yes. Tag him out. Yes. Dunn thought he fouled it off, or at least tried to convince home plate umpire Brian Runge of that, and he's still standing there.
And he's going to ask him about it. Take a look at it right here. The ball bounced about a foot out in front of the plate. I don't know how he could have possibly made contact with it. He missed it.
Major League leading 188th strikeout. 2 in the ball game. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Konerko, grounded out his first time up. Konerko with the .314 batting average. As we said, that is 4th best in the league. Mike Trout leads it at .339. Cabrera, .325 is 2nd. That's going to go to short. Hardy with a throw, and that'll do it. So Britton has the 1-2-3 inning. Now looking to the Oriole bats, it'll be the bottom third of the order coming up. There's the Babe, done trying to catch him in those three categories. He's got a shot. Enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Does it have to be later in the game?
Unless your name's Harry Carey. Yes. God love him. Here's Manny Machado, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Manny's had a 1 for 9. Andino and Teagarden against the rookie Jose Quintana. He will miss inside with that one. Quintana's had an amazing number. He's had 3 ball games in which he has worked 8 scoreless innings and received no decision in any of them. That is fouled off, according to the statistician folks. That is the first time in the modern era since 1900 that's happened for any pitcher in any season.
Wow. That's hard to do.
It is. Go 8 innings, not give anything up, and indeed.
Yeah, you got to turn around and look at your offense. Say, come on, boys. Just give me one.
1 ball, 2 strike count. And a swing and a miss. That will be his first strikeout.
Boy, that's a nasty pitch right there. Quintana kind of known for his cutter as a natural cutter off his 4-seamer. This is more like a slider, has more of a tilt to it, but it's hard. 87 miles an hour, just under the hands of Machado. Nice pitch.
Signed very young. He has had a 6-year minor league career, and he's only 23 years old, going 19-11. As both a starter and reliever, and his career minor league ERA is 2.76. Here's Robert Andino. Andino will take the pitch outside for a ball. He's had a 2 for 6 in the series, back in at second base for the Orioles in this ball game. Here's the 1-1. And in the air, not quite. Had to pull the hands in a little bit. Viciedo's got it, and there are 2 down. As the O's make their postseason push, be there for every key play. Text Orioles 29292 for starting lineups and in-game alerts you can't afford to miss. Orioles lost a chance to gain a game on the Yankees yesterday, so they come in 3.5 games behind, but they are in second place. Tampa Bay a half a game behind the Orioles in third. The White Sox still have the 3-game lead over the Tigers, with the White Sox winning yesterday and the Tigers losing. Mike Showalter's team, of course, still very much in the wild card run as Teagarden will take the pitch for a ball. Oakland now has the first wild card spot, and the Orioles the second. half a game ahead of Tampa Bay. Pitch is taken down low. It is going to be some finish in the month of September.
Well, it sure is. There's a nice group of teams right there. I still love how Buck and the Orioles team have their sights on just winning the division, though. I think if they set their goals high, good things are going to happen.
And the Yankees clearly are a team that can be beaten. That ball taken in the air to right field by Teagarden. It is way back. Goodbye, home run! Taylor Teagarden. Just his 10th start, and we talked about coming ready to play.
He has come up with some big hits for the Orioles. Every time it seems like he gets in there, he does something special with the bat.
And really well liked by his teammates who love to see him succeed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, he's been through so much this year, dealing with that back issue coming out of spring training, and he just kind of rejoined the team in the middle part of the year. It's great to see him contribute, get an opportunity. This pitch out over the plate. Taylor Teagarden backs that ball up and drives it into the flag court in right field.
And the Orioles tie the ball game on their first hit of the game. That is the 11th home run surrendered by Quintana. 6 have come by left-handers. And there is Taylor Teagarden with a homer. Coming into this game, 2 of the 3 hits this year he's picked up have been game winners in extra innings. And now this one is a home run that ties the ball game up in the 3rd.
Yeah, breaks up the no-hitter and the shutout.
Want to get that started. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Nick Markakis, who grounded out his first time up. Left-handers 1-2 pitch to him. That'll be away for a ball. Markakis has always had good numbers against the left-handers. You're not going to platoon him in any event, but you don't have to. Taylor Teagarden, 2-2, has tied it up. Reached for it and stayed away. Markakis this year, 307 off lefties, 287 off right-handers. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Another base hit the other way. Visaedo chasing it. Markakis makes the turn. He's going to try for 2. Visaedo's throw is not in time.
That is just so impressive. What a great at bat by Nick Markakis, but tough pitch down and away on the outer 3rd, and he keeps that front shoulder in there, drives it down the left field line, hustling in, knowing Visaedo, pretty strong arm out there in left field, sliding to that back corner, that outfield corner of the base, gets in there safely.
And the adage for hitters who will go the other way that there's gold in them their fields couldn't be truer than Nick Markakis has made it. That's his 33rd hit to left field, 34 to right, and 46 to center.
Yeah, great hitter, uses the whole field. Wherever it's pitched, he can get that bat head to the ball.
Hardy will take a strike on the outside corner. Hardy lined out hard to Lopez at third base. Lopez actually robbed him of a base hit his first time up. Look back to second base. The Orioles have gone 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position in the series. This is their first chance in this game, and Hardy gets it. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and he's going to deliver. That's down the line. Nick Markakis will make the turn. He'll score. Hardy's on his way to second base with an RBI double, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Now Quintana's game, he's throwing that hard cutter or slider in on righties, trying to bore it in off the fist. Well, J.J. Hardy's game is looking middle in and turning on pitches. Hit a bullet to third his first at bat, and this one up over the head of Lopez at third. Nice swing. Good approach by J.J. Hardy for a double and an RBI.
53 runs batted in, and our Kia Pitch Tracks brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And that will bring Cooper, the pitching coach, to the mound for just a brief word with his rookie left-hander. So the Orioles 2 runs in here in the third to take the lead. And they're doing it with 2 down, and that has been a problem area for the Orioles in the second half of the season. They have not picked up a lot of 2-out runs. Adam Jones coming up, grounded out his first time up. He gets the RBI chance. Runner at second base. Hardy, big secondary lead, and the pitch is inside for a ball. Hitter is only 237 off Quintana with runners in scoring position and 2 away. That home run by Teagarden with 2 down started it. Markakis a double, Hardy a double. Jones on the big cut on the pitch down and in, 1-1.
Adam been a little over aggressive in this series. Haven't really seen him chase too many pitches out of the zone throughout the course of the year. Really had great discipline up there. The White Sox getting the chase out of the zone.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Back inside again on him. They've changed up pitchers have against Adam Jones over the course of his career. It's been that slider down and away that they've tried to get him at. Now we're seeing more and more down and in.
Yeah, there were a couple last night. Axelrod throwing some fastballs down and in, but also exposed that slider down and away. Saw Quintana right there get Adam Jones swinging that down.
Oh yeah, way back in left field. Stand up, goodbye, home run. 2 RBIs, 4-1-0s.
One thing he has been great at, though, is hitting mistakes. If they make a mistake over the plate, he has been punishing balls. His 26th home run of the year right there.
Would you say he got a pretty good swing on that?
Wow. That ball was destroyed.
That is getting all of it, and a new career high in home runs, 26 of the year. Reynolds a swing and a miss.
Take a look at it right here. Right, pretty much down and in. So I caught a lot of the plate, though. Adam Jones, wow, gets the head to it. And this ball ends up out over the first deck of seats.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. That'll be outside. They're measuring that one at 422 feet for Adam Jones. And the Orioles, who came into this inning without a hit, have 4 runs on 4 hits, and that ball's drilled to left field. Way back! Goodbye! Home run! No! Just missed! Right off the top of the wall and into second base with a double. Third base umpire Marvin Hudson getting out there. Buck Showalter's going to come argue. He thought that was gone, and we'll see whether or not a video replay is going to be needed on this one.
Yeah, certainly close enough for review. Really tough to tell.
Hudson will come over. McClellan's the crew chief. He's at first base.
Yeah, it looked like right off the top of the wall. Really,
right off the top.
Unless there's a hand there. Is that a hand?
Nobody touched it.
I don't know.
How about the nice dad there? His son was going to reach out. He pulled his son's hand back, probably to protect his son from getting hurt.
Yeah.
But also it resulted in not interfering, and they will do the replay. Brian Runge, the plate umpire, will stay out. The other 3 umpires will go back to the video replay room and take a look at this. Top of the wall into the stands, obviously, is a home run. Top of the wall back out, though.
Right.
In play.
So either way, great swing by Mark Reynolds. Back-to-back bullets. Adam Jones, obviously, that 420-foot-plus shot. Mark Reynolds, just a line drive. Finding out if it's just off the top of the wall or maybe a home run.
Take a look again. Marvin Hudson got it right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Didn't touch anybody. They just came back into play, and Reynolds into second base.
Although there might have been a hand in there.
It was a hand trying. I don't know if.
Yeah, probably would have gone off the top of the wall either way.
Well, the Orioles rather exploding here in this game against this rookie starter who had retired the first first 8 batters faced, and all of this happening with 2 down in the 3rd inning. And Reynolds out there at second, at least with a double, as the crew comes back from the video room, and he'll give the sign. Tim McClellan will, right there at second base, and that's the right call. So a double. Reynolds just missing the home run. He picks up the 2-bagger. He's got 23 on the season, and the Orioles just miss having back-to-back home runs. 2 in the inning already by Teagarden, who started it, and Jones came on and picked up the 2 RBI home run. Lou Ford will try and keep it going. Ford flied out to right field his first time up. 5 hits, 4 runs since there were 2 down. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Fourth ball game this year in which Quintana's given up 2 home runs in a game. He's not given up 3 in a ball game this year. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him, and that'll be fouled back over the screen. And Ford with a 2-strike count. The Orioles now have hit the 100 mark. Home runs at home. 100 at home, 66 on the road. And all of it coming here with Teagarden second. Jones is 26th. And all with 2 down. Pitch is way up high. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And the other result of all this is that Quintana's piling up the pitches here in the inning. The mid-50s mark now. Reynolds, big lead off second base. Here's the 1-2. Ford down to third. Lopez charging. Makes the throw off the bag, but the tag is made by Canerco. But the Orioles have taken the lead with a big 3rd inning. 2 down. Taylor Teagarden in just his 10th start gets his 2nd home run. Jones gets his 26th, and the Orioles go on top after 3 4-1. And Teagarden, and let me correct myself on the home runs at home, now up to 95 here at home. You see the largest differential in home road homers. The Yankees using the new Yankee Stadium to their advantage. So though the Orioles here at Camden Yards, and both now with a differential of +29.
Yeah, some good hitters parks right there, obviously, and the home team's taking advantage of their good hitters parks.
So the Orioles up 4-1. Zach Britton all of a sudden runs to work with on the mound. Rios a single, his first time up. Alex Rios, Pierzynski, and then Visayado do up. And a towering pop up first base side. Reynolds. And he's got it. One down, fourth inning. The Orioles Legend Celebration Series returns on Thursday. Cal Ripken Jr. will be honored with a larger-than-life bronze sculpture in the new center field picnic area. All gates will be opening at 5. The ceremony's at 5:15, so we hope you'll get out for a very special day. And all fans are going to receive that replica Ripken sculpture. Help us honor the Iron Man. 888-848-BIRD to Orioles.com/legends. Thursday. A.J. Pierzynski coming up. The Orioles heading up to New York after this one. Of course, the Yankees have the day off today. And then the Orioles and Yankees play the 3-game set. 0-1 the count on Pierzynski. The rotation set, Gonzalez opens it up tomorrow night against Hiroki Kuroda. Then there are 2-day games, 1 o'clock games, Saturday, Sunday. Wei and Chen Saturday against Freddie Garcia. And while not officially announced, Chris Tillman is scheduled to go on Sunday against David Phelps.
The Chen Tillman combination. Both those guys having some good success back to back.
Misses with a pitch down low. Pierzynski hit into a fielder's choice and later was thrown out at the plate, trying to score in the second inning by Adam Jones. 1-2, and he reached. Did he go? Nope. Pierzynski getting the bat back in time. Fighting the 0 for his last 15. He's had only 5 hits in his last 33 at bats now, so really trying to get it going. Still hitting .287 on the year. Left-handers have had the better of it against Britton on the year, hitting .294, and he got him on that one. Wow. 5 strikeouts, or 6 rather.
Another nice breaking ball here by Zach Britton. Down and away off the plate. Shows itself up over. And then just nice, hard, late break at the end. It's AJ swinging at it, waving at it.
And our pitch track brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that delivered inspired performance. Visayado at the plate. A single and a run scored. Beckham picked up the RBI in the second inning. Orioles 4-5-0. The White Sox 1-5-0. The White Sox have left 3 and the Orioles 1. Britton has not walked anybody and has struck out 6. The 0-2. Wow. There were a couple of strikeouts worthy of note. 2 more in the inning. He retires the side in order. That's 7 in a row set down by Britton. Orioles lead. Cincinnati Reds 80-52, best record in the majors, and for the Reds the quickest to 80 since 76. That team went over 100 wins. Nationals, little meeting before the game. Harper 2 home runs, 14 hits, ended a 5-game losing streak. The A's, their starters, really putting up some numbers, as Oakland starters are 9-2 with a 2.70 in the past 13 games.
They've really been impressing some people. I think everybody kind of thought Oakland was going to fade away and drop off the map, but they have been incredibly consistent, and it really all comes down to that pitching. But offensively, they've been putting up some numbers as well.
They have the second best ERA overall in the American League. That's going to be a base hit as McLeod gets one up high to go after, and Nate McLeod, the only Oriole not to hit in the third inning, leads off the fourth with a single. Manny Machado, a strikeout victim, his first time up, will stand in. Machado with a 1 for 10 in this series. Average now at 234. A couple of home runs, 10 RBIs for the rookie. And now in every ball game, starting at third base, pitch away for a ball.
Really helps solidify the Orioles defense. They played well over there. I think offensively there's always going to be ups and downs, especially for a younger player, because the league's going to make adjustments off him, and I think sometimes just from the age standpoint, it might take a little longer for him to make the adjustments, but he is certainly going to be able to, over the course of time, figure out what they're trying to do to him to get him out, and he'll understand his weaknesses and obviously work on those over the offseason.
Clouth at first base with good speed. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and that is in there for a strike. 2-1. Already bullpen action. Nate Jones. Quintana, as Mike mentioned at the top, had walked 4 in each of the last 2 games. Walks have not been the problem in this one, but some pitches up in the strike zone have. 2-1 delivery. That 2 is there for a strike, and it goes to 2-2.
Quintana, much like Zach Britton, maybe not quite as much life that Zach has, and Zach, I think, throws a little bit harder, but both lefties are going to get hit if they leave balls up out over the plate. And we've seen some mistakes by both of them. Zach Britton able to get himself out of some jams.
That is to Beckham, who makes a great play. Beckham had moved over towards second base and had a long way to go in that little nubber. Runner gets moved up. Machado's retired.
Nice play by Beckham here, ranging far to his left. Now, the other day I'm watching him during infield, and he actually took 10 ground balls just like that, working on that same exact play, ranging far, that spin around, and they're trying to make the accurate throw. Sure enough, his preparation paid off right there with a nice play in a pressure situation.
Orioles get a runner in scoring position with 1 down, and that will bring up Andino. Andino flied to left field his first time up, and will pop that first pitch up to first base. Canerco puts it away. Pitch in and out, and there are 2 down. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Brooks Robinson became the first O's player to hit for the cycle. It was in July of 1960. It came against the Chicago White Sox. His 5-hit night included 2 singles. The Orioles beat the White Sox by a score of 5-2. And of course, for Brooksy, he will be the final of the Legend Celebration Series to have the sculpture unveiled in September. Cal is next Thursday, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Taylor Teagarden delivering the home run, second of the season, to ignite the Orioles in a 4-run, 4-hit third inning with a couple of home runs put up there. Runner on at second base, and the 0-1. That'll be taken down low.
Look at Taylor Teagarden's home run. 2 of his 4 hits this season are home runs. One a game winner. This one to get the Orioles on the board and ignite a rally. Beautiful swing right there, backing the ball up and driving it the opposite way.
Let's see if Teagarden can do it again. Orioles now 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. Here's the 1-1 delivery in the dirt. Nice stop made. Brzezinski will hold the runner at second base. Good speed on a base hit for McLouth. Good arms in the outfield, though, especially left and right, above average, and Wise in center, good. So trying to run on this White Sox outfield, not easy. Luciago's had 11 assists in the outfield. Rios has had 8. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and fouled off on pitch breaking down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's his true cutter right there, 88 miles an hour, just boring in on Teagarden's hands.
Taylor Teagarden's played in just a total of 14 games and has had only 36 at bats. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And that's going to be taken down low. Another bouncer, and the count goes to 3-2. So let's see what Quintana wants to use here against Teagarden, who had the home run off him his first time up on a 3-2 pitch. McLouth good lead at second base. 3-2 drilled in the air to center. Wise going back, way back, and not going to get it. That'll go off the wall. McLouth will score, and Teagarden's done it again. 2 at bats, 2 RBIs.
Wow, that ball was smoked to center. Great at bat, working the count for 3-2 and getting a mistake over the middle of the plate. Quintana has to come to him. Sure enough, he does. Right down the middle. Teagarden drives it to beat Wise deep to center. Nice at bat by Taylor.
The Orioles getting all of their runs with 2 away. And Teagarden's got his second double of the season. And Taylor Teagarden now with 5 RBIs on the year. Here's Nick Markakis, a double, a run scored. He is grounded out. Markakis now with a 5-game hit streak. And the pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner. The 71st pitch thrown by Quintana in the ball game, and we're only in the 4th inning. And he hasn't walked anybody. They've had the bullpen active for an inning plus. And the 0-1 will be taken inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Markakis. Now Teagarden will try and get that big lead at second. Timeout taken by the catcher Brzezinski. Oof.
Yeah, that pitch count really getting up there. 29 pitches last inning, getting up there again in this inning.
That pitch down and away. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Robin Ventura and Cooper, the pitching coach, certainly talking now about how long do you leave him in. Jones is ready in the bullpen. He's just staying loose out there. Quintana making his 19th appearance and his 17th start in his rookie year. 2-1 delivery and fought off.
Now, there's always concern with younger pitchers, especially a guy like Quintana, who had pitched out of the bullpen and not really tallied up many innings pitched coming up through the minor leagues. When they do get into September, because minor league ball obviously ends the end of August, you have a whole extra month. So building up your arm strength and able to be, useful through the month of September. There are a lot of question marks with younger arms, and I think Quintana might be getting to a point where he might be tiring a little bit, not getting quite the same life he had earlier in the season on his pitches.
I mean, he looks tired right now. He's trying to aim balls. The breaking ball he doesn't have good control of. He's either putting it into the dirt or it's sweeping way outside. And a 3 ball, 2 strike count here. Tough decisions. Robin Ventura's talked about his first-year manager trying to figure out when to take that starter out and not leave him in for that one batter too many. Here's the 3-2 pitch and another one outside. And Quintana's definitely in the struggle mode right here. And that's going to be it. So the walk drawn by Markakis. That's the second surrendered. And the Orioles have runners on at first and second with 2 away. And the Orioles will chase the 23-year-old left-hander as he will work just 3 2/3 innings in this ball game. And the Orioles will get to the bullpen, which has been problematic for the White Sox. They've made a lot of changes in that bullpen, and the year has gone by. Jones coming on now to work.
Third innings pitch gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned runs, and just that 1 walk to Nick Markakis give him that early exit. Orioles nice plan off him, taking advantage of some mistakes there in the 3rd inning. Taylor Teagarden with a big day against him, but Nate Jones comes in relief. Nate Jones, of course, saw him pitch last night. Power arm, right-hander, fastball up around 99 miles an hour. Does have 7 wins this year. A lot of success off lefties as well. 195 batting average for them. With a strong arm coming out of that pen. Fastball, slider change.
And yet another rookie on the mound, as has happened so often for the White Sox this year. 26-year-old who got his first major league action last season. Here is Hardy, who will take it outside for a ball. Take a look at the Orioles here in this ball game. The Oriole batters nothing in the first 2, and then 5 runs, 7 hits in innings 3 and 4, and we're still in the 4th inning. That's going to be outside. I was talking about the changes made by the White Sox in their bullpen. They had a game this year, a 14-inning ball game they played, where they had 8 pitchers and 7 of them were rookies.
Wow. The
starter and 6 of the relievers in the ball game were rookie pitchers. There's been a lot of movement trying to find a bullpen. 1-1 delivery, and he'll miss outside with it. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Hardy, RBI double his last time up, scored a run and lined out hard to third his first time up. Jones out of Covington, Kentucky. Here's the 2-1. Hardy goes the other way down the line, and that's just going to miss. He whipped one down the left field line for that RBI double his last time up, and he missed by inches on that one the other way.
Well, there aren't many pitchers that throw inside to J.J. Hardy. So with Quintana, his game plan, obviously the cutter in, and that's his strength, so he has to stick with it, and J.J. Hardy able to take advantage of that. Well, Jones, hard fastballs and sliders away.
And J.J. will come back with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles were held to just 3 hits ball game last night. Only the second time this year that's happened here at home. They already have picked up 7 hits in the ball game today, and doing it against the left-hander. The Orioles 20-14 against left-handed starters this year. 2-2 delivery. Hardy puts that one in the air to center. DeWayne Wise is there, and he will put it away for the out. Orioles retire, but they add another run. Teagarden with the RBI double, and the Orioles extend their lead.
This afternoon, back in the second inning, Ramirez with the base hit up the middle, but Adam Jones with the strong throw at the plate, getting A.J. Brzezinski. In the third, all with 2 outs. Taylor Teagarden with the opposite field home run. J.J. Hardy driving a double down the left field line, scoring Markakis, and Adam Jones with a huge drive to left field, out over the fans in the stands. Here is the in-game summary. Orioles with the lead 5-1 going into the 5th inning. Gordon Beckham with the RBI single in the second. White Sox 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The O's 3 for 6.
And Zach Britton ready to go to work. Here's Ramirez shows bunt. The 7 strikeouts you saw recorded is a career high, ties a career high for Zach Britton. Last year against the Angels in September, he had a ball game where he had 7 strikeouts. A literal base hit, making the turn and going into second base with the easy double. And Ramirez is hot. He is 2 for 2, a single and a double in this game. As the American League East and wildcard playoff races come down to the wire, the Orioles host the Rays. A big 3-game series, September 11th through the 13th. Big showdown, division rival Rays. Plenty of tickets for all 3. Hope you'll get out and support the Birds. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. So a runner on at second base. That'll be hit number 6. 7 in a row had been retired by Britton prior to the leadoff double by Ramirez. Here's Beckham. He goes to center. Runner will tag. Jones the catch going the other way. Runner's going to go. Here's the throw to third base. Cut off. So Ramirez able to move up on the Beckham fly ball. 1 away in the 5th.
Boy, Beckham and Ramirez have really been hitting the ball hard down at the bottom of the lineup for the White Sox. Get those guys hot, and then with the strength of the middle of this lineup, they are certainly going to be tough down the stretch.
Runner in scoring position now with 1 away. Wise has not been able to figure out Zach Britton yet, as he has struck out twice in the ball game. And the pitch down low, Teagarden able to get the handle on that. Taylor Teagarden has always been a good defensive catcher.
Well, that's really why Buck Showalter wanted him over here, just to be able to handle that staff. Obviously, Buck Showalter loves Matt Wieters, and if he could, would play Matt Wieters 162 games. But knowing that he needs some rest, and Taylor Teagarden, a great backup catcher potentially could be a #1 for other teams. That he's that good defensively at calling games and blocking balls.
Buck Showalter talking this morning about there will be a third catcher added when the roster is expanded in September to give Matt Wieters a little bit more of a breather so he can DH him maybe a little more. And an interesting comment about Wieters saying some players can't take days off and really have days off. They're so involved in the game and preparing that they don't relax mentally even when they're out of the game. And he gets the strike. There's a new career high in strikeouts for Zach Britton. That is his 8th. 3 of them against Wise.
Yeah, beautiful pitch right here. This two-seam fastball came back enough to get the call. Nice catch by Taylor Teagarden, locking it up right on the outside corner to get the call on Wise.
That'll bring up Lopez, called up, added to the roster today. He's doubled and struck out. 2 down. Fouls it off. Britton has thrown 14 first strikes to 20 batters in the ball game, so he's been getting ahead of the hitters. And as we said, when he does that, it is to his advantage. The hitter's only 231 if he's able to get that first strike in. Ramirez now at third base, but there are 2 down. 0-1. Finishing up what Buck was saying about Wieters, he said Wieters can take a day off. Says he's able to really relax. He gets out of the game. He can sit mentally, able to catch his breath. And he was talking about the fact a lot of players can't do that they're just mentally always in it. But he said, I give Matt a day off. He really does get a day off. And he says he's got to do that because of the time that he spends preparing for ball games. He was talking about the fact Matt is often in here at noontime or 1 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game. And he said, got to get him out of there. 1-2 delivery. Teagarden again will block it. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. So Taylor Teagarden is the second catcher and will stay in that capacity, and then probably there'll be a third catcher added in order to give more options what you can do on the bench, pinch hitting, pinch running, whatever. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Jose Lopez waiting on it and will fight it off, hit him in the batter's box.
Zach Britton's pitch count up to 74 pitches, but after getting through the first couple innings, leaving some balls up in the zone, he has been really good about keeping that ball down there below the knees and inducing a lot of chases with that two-seam fastball and the slider.
Wow. He has had some wild pitches in this ball game for strikeouts. Every strikeout's a new career high. He's got 9, 2 in this inning. Orioles up 5-1. And Zach Britton on the mound. We said a lot of wild pitches he has thrown. We're not only seeing the Orioles in a race, obviously, for the postseason, but the growth of more young players, and Britton's one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Zach came up a little bit inconsistent with command of his fastball. Couldn't quite harness that delivery, but the last few starts he has been consistent, and we've seen him here have success keeping that ball down in the zone, letting his stuff play. His fastball is ridiculous how much it moves when it's down in the zone, and it's hard, 93, 94 miles an hour. We've seen a lot of swing and misses at that, and then he can spike that slider down and in. Saw that last strikeout right there. So really effective when he's down in the zone and he can command that delivery.
And Zach, another one of those players as a pitcher who wears his emotions inside. You don't see much reaction to anything on the mound from Zach Britton.
No, that's nice too, and that's a great quality for a starting pitcher. You have to have great composure out there. You can't get rattled. or then you get, cause some mistakes. So, but yeah, nice composure by him, and he's got some great examples. Wei Chen, certainly, you don't see any emotion out there. Miguel Gonzalez, another guy. So being able to harness those emotions and be consistent.
And Adam Jones is going to lead it off here. A home run came in the third inning. Is 26, good for 2 RBIs. He'll take that pitch outside. He started out defensively in the ball game in the second inning. Brzezinski trying to score, picks up the assist, his 7th of the year, and then added that home run in the third, new career high at 26. And he really unloaded on that one. Jones leading it off here in the 5th inning. Nate Jones on the mound for the White Sox in relief. Quintana's final line, 5 runs, 7 hits in 3 2/3 innings, 2 walks and a strikeout. And a shattered bat. Oh my gosh. Play is made by the shortstop Ramirez. That bat went into the first row behind the White Sox dugout, and that was the sword end. And it looks like everybody's all right as they moved away. Everybody concerned looking as the White Sox dugout came up to take a look.
Wow. That's dangerous right there. See that a lot. The bats nowadays, the maple, you hit them in the right, you hit them in the wrong spot, and they just explode, and pieces of wood go flying all over the place. Unfortunately, up into the stands a lot of times. So fortunately, nobody hurt there.
So 1 away. Here's Reynolds. Reynolds had a double his last time up. Just missed a home run. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. And the 1-0 delivery that will get away in the dirt, and a 2-0 count. The Orioles trying to take 3 out of 4 against the White Sox and go 6-2 on the season against Chicago, and wrap up this homestand with a 5-1 record if they can do it. 2-0 delivery. The Orioles' best homestand this year is just that number, 5-1. If the Orioles can win, this would be the second time for a 5-1 homestand, shortened of course by the rainout that game against Toronto. 3-0 delivery, and he walked him on 4 straight. Let's take a look at our PNC minor league report, brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. Last night, Jake Arrieta, what an outing. He gave up no runs, 2 hits with a walk and 6 strikeouts. At Norfolk now 4-4 with a 4.24 ERA. He has made 9 starts at AAA.
Boy, that's a great outing by Jake, and I heard he threw a limited amount of pitches as well. So to go deep into a ball game, obviously have success with just the 2 hits, but pitch efficiently is a key for Jake Arrieta.
Orioles have a runner on at first base, and Brzezinski will head out to the mound to talk to Nate Jones as Lou Ford takes the first pitch away. Count goes to 1-0. Ford 0 for 2. He is flied out and grounded out in the ball game. The Orioles 5 runs, 7 hits, and the White Sox a run on 6 hits in the game. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and that's going to miss outside. And Jones having a bit of a problem finding the strike zone now, and the count goes to 2-0. '26-year-old rookie with a look. 3-0. Not close.
Surprised AJ Brzezinski hasn't gone out there to give him a little talk.
Got a 3-0 count on him. 10 pitches already thrown. And puts that one in, taken on the outside corner. And the count goes 3-1. We were talking about Jones in the ball game last night. He's the reliever who's come out of the bullpen and gone 7-0. His 50th appearance. And a slow roller down to third. That will be foul. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Jones is another one of those youngsters who's now been in more games than he's ever appeared in his professional career. And another one they're concerned about, as we've talked about, and with a month to go, you're trying to figure out how do you make your staff the most effective it can be. Chopper runner was going. Jones to second. They get one, and the return is in time. A double play on a ball that looked like it wasn't going to get anything. Close play at first base, but the Orioles are retired. We've completed 5 here at Camden Yards. Orioles up. Out of 4, and right now Zach Britton dominating on the mound. He has struck out 9, and he has not issued a walk in the ballgame. Adam Jones got an assist early with an out at the plate. The Orioles delivering homers. Taylor Teagarden got one. Same inning. Adam Jones is 26 for a new career high, and the Orioles have a 5-1 lead. Pretty explosive ball game the way they've come here. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Orioles in that 3rd inning, where they sent 8 batters to the plate. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Dunn leading it off. He has struck out twice. Wise has struck out 3 times. Lopez has struck out twice. Those are the 1, 2, 3 hitters in the lineup for the White Sox. .2-0 delivery. That hit the bat, and the pitch that probably would have been a ball inside, and Dunn just trying to go. Oh,
that's that late movement getting in there. You know, you kind of have to gear it up a little bit off Zach Britton if he's aggressive in the zone. I mean, he does throw so hard, and he's a short armor, so it gets on you quick.
Into the shallow right field area, and Dino was shifted over, will get the out.
Zach Britton 56 strikes thrown today, which is pretty good, and he's pitching better when he throws more strikes. We've talked about the life he has on his fastball, and you can see there when he throws less than 55% strikes, everything up. 14 hits per 9 innings, ERA way up. But when he's above 55%, look at the success he has. So pound that zone with all that movement he has. He's going to be able to induce a lot more swing and misses like he is today, and also induce a lot of ground balls to help get himself out of jams if he does get in there.
Good breaking ball right there for a strike. Konerko has grounded out twice. Konerko hitting at .314, couple of hits, 13 at bats in the series. There's the fastball down to 3rd. Konerko, who can barely move. Plenty of time to make the play over there for Machado, and Konerko's retired.
Tim McClellan just made the out call. Took about 12.5 seconds.
It's tough. I mean, the White Sox get into station-to-station baseball because you've got Konerko and Pierzynski separated only by a hitter. When they're on base, there's not much you can do movement-wise. I mean, they both really struggle to run right now. Here's Rios, and the pitch is a strike to him. Rios is single, 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Beckham, the RBI, came in the 2nd inning on a base hit, the only White Sox run. Hit hard to 3rd, right at Machado, and that's that. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning at Camden Yards. The Orioles over the White Sox. Miguel Gonzalez on the mound against Hiroki Kuroda. Our coverage on Masson HD 630 O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson.
Yeah, here we go. Orioles can certainly make up some ground. Look at the preview right here. New York 75-55 record, lead the O's by 3.5 games. But they've lost 8 of their last 13. To Sharon A-Rod out gives the Orioles a little bit of an advantage there, because that is a powerhouse lineup with those two in it. So nice challenge for the O's. Kuroda, one of the better pitchers in the game, though. It's going to be a nice challenge by Miguel Gonzalez. Obviously Wei-Yin Chen and Chris Tillman going up against the Bronx Bombers.
We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. McLouth a single, and he is grounded out. Machado and Andino to follow. That'll be foul back. The Orioles putting up numbers here at home since the end of July. Good month at home for the Orioles. They've won 12 of their last 16 home games, and can add another to that if they can get the victory here in the way Britton is pitching. Pretty good chance. Down the first base side it goes, and a 2-strike count. Orioles are after another series win. Of course, this would be their 24th series win if they can get this and take 3 out of 4. And a foul tip. Last year the Orioles had only 16 series wins, so they have already taken care of that, which was one of the numbers on the board for Buck Showalter during spring training, talking about let's win some series. Means you're taking 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. And that one foul tipped and held on to. And McLouth, a strikeout victim by Jones. It's a 180-mile-an-hour festival of speed. Tickets on sale now for the Grand Prix of Baltimore, presented by SRT. Visit raceonbaltimore.com. You see the preparations just outside. That is pit row on the other side of the warehouse. Pit row and all those booths on the sidewalk are food booths, and the pitch will be taken for a strike.
Diesel, baby, diesel and food.
Manny Machado 0 for 2, robbed of a hit by Beckham his last time up. Jones outside with it. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Andino waiting on deck. The Orioles also have improved against left-handed starters. We mentioned they're going for their 21st win in a game started by a left-hander. Last year they had 19. They were 19 and 28 last year against left-handed starters. This year they are 20 and 14 already. And that lefty-hander is looking for a W of his own. Here's the 1-2 delivery and a chopper down to third base. Lopez has got it. And there are 2 down. Tune in. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report is going to follow our game today, 5 to 6:30. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Mel Anthony, and Dave Johnson. They'll have continued post-game coverage of this series finale. Amber Theo Harris will be on board to take a look at how the Orioles prepare for each series against an opponent. That's going to be coming up at 5 o'clock right here on Masson.
That'll be interesting. That's fun.
Robert Andino.
What Amber's going to do, check out how they prepare for series and things, especially now going into September. There's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of new arms that they might potentially have to face. So obviously the scouting reports really come into play. But it's fun. It's a skull session. You know, you liken it to football. You know, they have their big meetings before they play a team over the weekend. Well, obviously the baseball series, just 3-game series, they have to prepare going into that. So they do the scouting on the hitters' tendencies. They go over the pitchers they're going to throw, the whole bullpen, what their tendencies are on the mound, how fast their times are to home.
And that's a base hit by Andino. So he gets his first hit of the ball game. A 2-out single. They're in the 6th. And Amber went into the so-called prep room where they have the big board up with all the numbers and what they're concerned about regarding each series. Yeah. And Buck let her go in to see that, have a look at it, and explain what that's all about.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Because, I mean, there really is. You think the game is just played out there, but there is so much individual scouting that goes on and the meetings that have to happen. And not just in that room where everything's on the board and they talk about the pitchers or the position players, but the video room is just another area where they have to go over and just kind of reiterate what they're talking about.
Taylor Teagarden, one of the heroes of the day. Jim Presley, the hitting instructor's got to be happy. The Orioles 5 runs on 8 hits in this ball game. The White Sox 1 run, 6 hits. Teagarden been a big part of it. He delivered the home run that came in the 3rd inning. Solo shot that started out the 4-run, 5-hit inning and then came up with 2 down in the 4th and delivered a double and picked up another RBI. Batting in the 9 spot. How many times have we said it? Every day it's somebody new, and in many cases somebody a bit unexpected having a big day either on the mound or at the plate, and this has been a day for Taylor Teagarden.
Yeah, well, you just can't say enough about, you know, the so-called role players that don't get the opportunity to play consistently and actually make their adjustments throughout the course of a series or a week. So being able to prepare themselves on a daily basis, getting ready for an opportunity to play maybe once or twice during the week, is a tribute to them and their preparation and work habits.
Teagarden with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Runner off first base, and the pitch would be up high by Jones. More warm-up action in the bullpen. Hector Santiago. And don't think that right now Robin Ventura, while he's not going to cast this game aside, is thinking about the Detroit Tigers tomorrow night in a 3-game series. And that is in there for a strike. So Jones will get the strikeout, his second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 6 complete at Camden Yards, and the Orioles lead at 5-1. Game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tea Garden time. As the battery today, gotten it done. Britton with no walks, 9 strikeouts on the mound, giving up only the 1 run. And Tea Garden behind the plate, going 2 for 3 with a home run, a double, and 2 RBIs. It's a pretty good combination.
Sure is. Nice batter. It's fun to watch him work when everybody's on the same page, and obviously Zach Britton able to throw some strikes. It'd be a lot of fun for Taylor or Matt Wieters to be able to put down the fingers and just let that ball do its thing.
And a wild cut taken by Pierzynski. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game, 0 for 9 in the series, 0 for his last 16. And Britton has had him take some cuts that have really been out of this world.
Yeah, it's certainly out of the strike zone, that's for sure.
Pierzynski struck out waving at a pitch way outside his last time up. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him, and then came back with a heater. 10 strikeouts for Zach Britton.
AJ kind of beside himself right now. I mean, all 3 pitches down and out of the zone, and all 3 pitches AJ Pierzynski just trying to make contact with, not even close.
No one away in the 7th inning. Visaedo up. He is singled, struck out, scored the lone White Sox run in the game, and he takes a hack at one of those pitches we've seen against right-handers.
And the reason why they're swinging at those pitches is because through the course of this ball game, he's been effective throwing strikes, first pitch strikes, and getting ahead. And they don't want to have to extend the at bat off him and let him get to these nasty pitches. Well, he hasn't thrown 1 strike yet over the plate, yet he's thrown 4 strikes.
Yeah,
swinging strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Visaedo. And got a fastball, turned on it, and fouls it off. And the count will go to 1-2. 18 out of 25 first pitch strikes for Zach Britton today.
Yeah, that's a pretty good number for Zach. And obviously, even if it gets better, he's going to be more effective. But keeping the ball down in the zone nicely today, making his adjustments, mixing up his pitches. And I think just the fact that he's keeping those pitches down below the thigh here in the later innings has been crucial for him.
Britton ahead on the count, 1-2. Ground ball to short. Hardy. 2 down. Our Rose Extra postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, as Jim and Rick stand by to take a look back at this ball game and the homestand, we'll listen to Buck before the ball club heads out. He'll be talking to the press and player interviews and more, all coming up after the ball game. Zach Britton is looking for his 3rd win in a row. He's coming off the victory against Toronto, had a victory against the Tigers prior to that. He gave up a season tying low 4 hits in the last start. Second base, Andino's right there. Ramirez is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning, and that's going to be 9 in a row set down. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Buck Showalter about that and how that's gone this year.
It's not always something that's revealed publicly. I think it's more about setting up, that's just not good enough, or this is not, we respect where you came from, the way, but here, it's knowing who you are and holding yourself to. There's a lot of guys that do it through example. It's real hard to find today's game, Gary, because of the scrutiny that comes under from being that guy, and not many people really, and it's not healthy to put yourself on that pedestal all the time. So it's more an example thing, and things that maybe you may not see that are happening behind the scenes, maybe on a bus, maybe on the back of a plane, maybe after everybody leaves. Because let's face it, our locker room is basically an interview room, and that's why I'm so protective of the places that they can actually be a team. I don't. There's not a guy beating his chest, but you can't ask anybody to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. And there's a lot of guys here that show that their words can carry some weight because they're doing it on the field.
Yeah, well, you know what? Buck Showalter is dead on about that, but he never gives himself credit. He always deflects it onto the players, which is what good managers do. But they follow Buck Showalter's lead. Buck Showalter, in every spring training I've been in, he pays attention to detail, he demands good effort, and the players just take on that persona. They follow the manager's lead, and they've done that. Now, there are some vocal guys. I mean, Adam Jones has been vocal all along, and he's backed it up with his numbers and the way he plays on the field. Matt Wieder's not quite so vocal, but just his leadership qualities, how he plays the game every night. So, Buck Showalter, certainly the true leader in there, and the players follow suit, and they hold each other accountable.
Hector Santiago, the left-hander, coming out of the bullpen to Markakis. It goes to short. Ramirez the throw. Santiago will record the out as we go to the bottom half of the seventh inning. One away. This is going to be Hector Jimenez, who was just brought up today. His contract purchase from Charlotte is going to come on to do the catching. This is just what I was talking about. Looking ahead to the game tomorrow in Detroit, Brzezinski, who's struggling, is going to come out of there and get a break. And Jimenez, who was just added to the roster today, will come on to do the catching. So a new battery here in Santiago and Jimenez. Hardy with a 1-0 count and one down. And that pitch is on the outside corner. Good job by Nate Jones, who came on for 2 1/3 innings. He gave up only 1 hit, no runs, 1 hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts in relief. The starter, Quintana, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 2/3. And Zach Britton, of course, the Orioles starter, still out there. Hardy, an RBI double, a run scored, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Fouls that one back, 2-2. Two delivery to him. Fought off the other way. Talked about how close these teams are in so many ways. The White Sox coming into the ball game are 72 and 57 on the season. The Orioles, if they win this ball game, they will have their 72nd win of the year. In the American League right now, Texas at 77 has the most wins. The Rangers have won 7 of their last 10. Oakland, they've won 8 of their last 10. They trail Texas by 4.5. 3-2 delivery, fouled off the other way. Cincinnati's got the best record in baseball with 80 wins. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Santiago, a long look in. Here's the 3-2 again. That 2 is going to be out of play. We apologize for some video problems we are having right now. We'll get those corrected for you. 3 ball, 2 strike count. The delivery by Santiago is chopped foul outside of third base. Count will stay at 3-2. Santiago's yet another pitcher called up from the minors to work in the bullpen. was pitching at AAA Charlotte. Came back up to the big club on the 17th of August. And Hardy will step out on him. Here's the 3-2 delivery. And Hardy battling, fouls that one back into the seats.
Yeah, another young arm. Was actually a starter in the minor leagues. They made the team as potentially the closer. Kind of struggled in that role, so they sent him back out. And now he's up in more of the long relief role.
3-2 delivery, and he nails it deep and a foul.
Wow, I mean, he got the bat head on it, but unfortunately it's not a cricket field.
Forever and ever. Big battle here. Santiago again, the 3-2, and he got it. So the strikeout recorded, 2 away. The 2013 Orioles Pet Calendar, presented by Southwest Airlines, is now available. 15-month calendar features your favorite birds posing with their favorite dogs and cats. Proceeds benefit Orioles Reach and Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. You can pick up a copy at the Orioles team store here at the ballpark, or go to Orioles.com/petcalendar. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Adam Jones. Career high 26 home runs reached in the 3rd inning. With his homer, he is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Couple of hits in 14 at bats in the series. Santiago's pitch to him will be inside. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Off speed, pitch away. Got him to go after it. Good pitch.
Yeah, that was a nice little changeup. Turned it over, almost had like screwball action there.
1-2 the count on Jones. And another one. And he'll get the strikeout there. And that will retire the side. Orioles go 1-2-3 against Santiago. We'll go to the 8th inning with the Orioles on top 5-1.
Really dominating performance. Take a look at these pitches. All these strikeouts down in the zone. Letting that breaking ball and that hard fastball work for him. A lot of swings and misses. Balls that are bouncing. They're reacting to that short arm and that hard slider down and in.
And with those 10 strikeouts, Grant, congratulations. $1,500 for the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, play Strike It Rich Scratch Offs. Enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/Strike It Rich. And maybe more to come. That is in there for a strike. Gordon Beckham, RBI, single, came in the 2nd, and the only run for the White Sox. He's also flied out to center field. We're in the 8th inning. Beckham, Wise, and Lopez due up. Here's the 0-2 in the air to center. Jones. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates for our day game. Zach Britton pitching himself a whale of a game. Adam Jones, who's delivered a home run good for 2 RBIs, and Taylor Teagarden, who's had a 2-for-3 ball game, including a home run and 2 RBIs. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826.
Boy, and you got to, I mean, Taylor Teagarden's had a nice offensive day and certainly working Zach Britton, very well today, successfully. But see all the strikeouts that Zach Britton had on all the balls in the dirt. Well, he's been back there blocking those balls too and keeping runners off base. So really working hard back there this afternoon.
Wise avoids the golden sombrero. He had struck out 3 times. 2 down. On Sunday, September 9, Orioles Reach will join the Oriole Advocates for the annual cardboard to leather collection here at the ballpark. There'll be representatives at every gate during the Yankees 135 game to get your gently used or baseball, softball equipment that's new. It'll support underprivileged youth in developing countries. Cash donations accepted. OriolesReach.com is where you can go for details, but it's September 9. 2 down, nobody on. Lopez, a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. This veteran called up. Get the start at third base today. Over 1,000 major league games, including a real good year with the Seattle Mariners in 2009. He had a 25 home run season. Donnie Veal up in the bullpen. In fact, made the All-Star team. That'll be fouled off. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Not going to push it. Bullpen is active for the Orioles. Two-ball, 1-strike count. Second base, center base hit. Over the head of Andino, and Lopez has his second hit. So he's got a 2-for-4 ball game. That single coming at 2 down here in the 8th inning. Pedro Strop up in the bullpen for the Orioles. 10 and 11 in a row had been retired by Britton prior to that base hit. He's thrown 101 pitches, 21 out of 29 first pitch strikes, and a real good ratio.
That's a great ratio, and of course the White Sox bats helping him out. I mean, his stuff is so nasty down in the zone. He's getting a lot of those strikes are swinging strikes, particularly would have been called strikes. But he has such good late movement and bite on that slider, and his 2-seam fastball just moving all over the place, that he's inducing a lot of swing and misses.
And Adam Dunn will take it down low. Teagarden with a block. Dunn has an 0 for 3, including 2 strikeouts in the ball game. He's had 3 hits and 13 at bats in the series. The Orioles have held the major league leader in home runs without a long ball. Dunn on the year, while he's picked up 5 RBIs against the Orioles, has not had a home run against the O's in 28 at-bats this year. And he's hitting a home run overall once every 11.5 times up. Big shift on in the infield, and the pitch to him is there for a strike. 1-1.
Still nice velocity too coming out of Zach Britton's hand. 93 miles an hour right there with that fastball.
Grounded down to first base. Easy play for Reynolds. That'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base, and the fans a standing ovation for Zach Britton. Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 in support of the American Heart Association Heart Walk. 377 walks, $18,850. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. So Zach Britton with just a magnificent performance will have completed his day working 8 innings, and wow, just a big wow.
Sure was. What a special outing by Zach Britton, and it's nice to see him really coming into form. Saw him have great success last year with 11 wins. Started developing some inconsistent patterns and really didn't quite end up living up to the expectations, but last 3 starts he has been rock on, and those pitches, if he keeps them down in the zone like the movement we've been talking about, can be really devastating.
Here is the left-hander Donnie Veal coming on, second time in the series. 27-year-old will work here in the bottom of the 8th inning to Mark Reynolds. So for Britton, a run on 7 hits over 8 innings. He did not walk a batter, and he struck out a career high 10 in the ball game. That is the first game this year where he has not walked a batter. 1-0 pitch, and that is inside. Count goes to 2-0 from Veal. Orioles maintain this lead for 3 more outs, and Britton will have won his 3rd game in a row. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Two ball, 1 strike count. Quintanilla and Britton on the bench. Reynolds a double, a walk, and he is flied out. Reynolds continues to get on base. Here's the 2-1 delivery and an inside corner strike. Reynolds hitting .295 coming into this game over the last 19. He's picked up another hit in this one. He's been getting on base, scoring runs, and driving them in. 10 runs scored, 10 RBIs over that 19-game stretch. Three balls, 2 strikes. Santiago worked an inning, struck out 2 in relief. Veal on for him. Here's the 3-2. Towards the seats at first. Out of play.
Mark Reynolds obviously having some success here after the All-Star break with the bat swinging much better, but very humble about that. You know, knows that he got off to a slow start and really, you know, had a hard time dealing with that, contributing to the offense because there are a lot of guys doing so well, and obviously the team winning. So very gratifying for him and the Orioles for him to really pick it up here offensively at the latter part of the season when it really matters the most.
Veal blew that one in and gets a strikeout, and Reynolds is retired and 1 away. Taking a look at our notebook here, some names worthy of note. Darwin Barney of the Cubs, National League single season record 114 straight error-free ball games at second base set yesterday. Jose Bautista undergoing surgery. Toronto out of it. They don't want to force it any longer. And A-Rod out since July 24 with that fractured wrist. He's taking batting practice, did yesterday at Yankee Stadium. He will not be involved in the games, nor will Mark Teixeira against the Orioles over the weekend. Teixeira's out for at least a week, and A-Rod's come back pending how it goes as he starts swinging the bat again. And the pitch in there for a strike. Ford an 0 for 3 in the ball game, and an 0-2 count on him. And Matt Wieters and Teegarden, the 2 Oriole catchers, together.
Yeah, Matt Wieters, you know, he talked about the time he has off, but he still talks about the game. He has to, you know, and you know there were other pitchers coming up to him throughout the course of this ball game, you know, asking about how to get guys out, probably thinking about, you know, the trip on up to New York, how they're going to pitch to the likes of Jeter and Granderson and Cano.
1-2 delivered to Ford. The catchers are unique in the game of baseball in many ways. They talk amongst themselves because they're handling a staff of pitchers, a dozen or 13 of them, and you have to do it gently many times. Sometimes you got to do it tough, but oftentimes they make decisions, talk amongst themselves. All right, what did he do right? What was he doing? How are you working him in the game? And they learn from one another. And swung on and missed, and the tag will be put on. So Veal gets a couple of strikeouts, 2 down in the 8th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Getting ready for the Grand Prix downtown over the weekend. And the Orioles heading out on the train to New York. 2 down, and the pitch is taken for a strike. McLeod the single and a run scored. Hardy's had an RBI. Jones 2 on the home run. Teagarden on a homer and a double, 2 RBIs. The Orioles lead it 5-1. Breaking ball stays inside on him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Hill gets it in there, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 delivery at a breaking ball, and he strikes the side out. So a good job by Veal here in the 8th inning. The Orioles 3 outs away from putting together another win and taking 3 out of 4 in this series. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup. So a good day for the Orioles so far, and 3 more outs will make it that much better.
Pedro Strop on a relief of a great performance by Zach Britton. Of course, Pedro Strop, setup man extraordinaire, having a fabulous year coming out of the pen, and this isn't typically his role. You see the numbers there. Righties hitting just 152, lefties 226. But keeping Pedro fresh, he's one of those pitchers that likes to throw, needs to throw, and it'll keep him sharp.
He works against Paul Konerko, top of the 9th inning. Konerko's had an 0 for 3. Zach Britton shutting down this White Sox offense on a run on 7 hits with 10 strikeouts and no walks. And he went around on that one. Britton looking to go 4-1 on the year. 2-0 lifetime against Chicago. Quintana will take the loss. He will be 5-3 and will lose his first road game of the year. He was 3-0 on the road. Konerko will take the pitch inside. The Orioles, with a victory here, are going to go 6-2 against the White Sox on the season. The last time the Orioles won that many games against Chicago was back in 1999 when the Orioles went 7-3 on the year against Chicago. Here's the 1-2. Ouch. Taylor Teagarden gets the rat right on the mask.
Yeah, just a 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. Getting fouled off right in Taylor's face. Oof. Oh, man. So he's having such a great day. Works Zach Britton so well. A couple huge hits.
It's a fair ball. Manny Machado with a big iron. One away. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the results so far with Zach on top. You still have time to text in your vote, A, B, or C. 31826. Results coming up in the O's Extra postgame show.
Now you just saw some easy cheese coming from Manny Machado over there, deep in the hole over there at third base on the line. That ball just comes out of his hand so smooth.
Here is Rios with one down. Rios a single. 1 for 3 in the ball game. White Sox continue to have their problems on the road. They came in hitting .217 in the last 12 road games, and Zach Britton has lowered that number as they picked up only the 7 hits in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Rios pumps it, and that's a base hit. Markakis will go over to get it. A 1-out single, 9th inning. Take a look at our Hollywood Casino League leaderboard as we take a look at the ERA of relievers.
Yeah, well, Orioles bullpen has just really been the rock and the reason why they're in this position that they are today. Very solid, that 3.03 earned run average, and 3 or 4 of the guys out there just studs that have really led the way. Pedro Strop obviously being one of them. Jim Johnson, Darren O'Day having a great year. Jim Johnson up in the pen right now.
Krasinski, slots, tables, and dining, the ultimate triple play at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. 1 strike count. Krasinski with the 0 for 3, including strikeouts in his last 2 times to the plate. I'm sorry. Jimenez will foul it back. Jimenez getting his first at bat as he came on to do the catching. One of the 5 moves made by the White Sox prior to the ball game today in trying to set up their roster for the series coming up in Detroit. Oh-2 count, 1 down. Jimenez is playing at AAA, hitting .259 in 99 games. Here's the 0-2, and that one will be fouled away. Flowers, who caught the ball game last night, on paternity leave today, so that's why they had to bring up another catcher. Rios on at first. Hector Jimenez with 1 out, 0-2 count. Stropes delivery to him, fouled off. Rios the lead at first base. Here's the 0-2 up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit right through the middle. Jones will get it back in, so back-to-back singles here in the 9th inning, putting 2 on and 1 away.
Well, not really a bad pitch. I mean, down in the zone, good movement, got the ground ball he wanted, just found a hole right there.
DeSaedo coming up and Buck Showalter coming out. Jim Johnson is ready in the bullpen. While I'm sure he had Johnson up just to get some time in, now it becomes a little more of a concern. And he will make the change right here. So Pedro Strop will work a third of an inning. He gives up a couple of hits, and Jim Johnson will come on to pitch. This ball game, and we'll open up the 3-game weekend set against the Yankees tomorrow night. We will be on the air 6:30 with those extras, 7 o'clock with the ball game. That'll be on Masson HD. Miguel Gonzalez against Hiroki Kuroda. Gonzalez 5-3, Kuroda 12-9 for the night game tomorrow night.
Jim Johnson comes in. Jim Johnson with the 40 saves this year, 296 earned run average. Best closers in the game, if not the best. Lefties just 212, righties only 207 off him.
Visaedo up and a chopper. Johnson only play at first, and will get the out. Runners move up, 2 down.
He has to lead the league in least amount of distance on balls that are hit on the ground, because I don't know how many times we've seen those little choppers and numbers in front of the plate, or little infield hits like that. It's incredible.
Hitter's really on top of his pitches.
Yeah, I mean, he has such movement. You know, late action on that fastball. He induces those little choppers and ground balls.
So the Orioles are not away from finishing it off and taking 3 out of 4 against the White Sox. Ramirez has runners at second and third. There are 2 down. Up the middle, that's going to be a base hit. 2 are going to score. And Ramirez continues to produce a 2 RBI single. And all of a sudden, the White Sox here are in the ball game with 2 down in the 9th inning. They'll bring the potential tying run to the plate, 5-3.
Well, even though the Orioles been on cruise control, this is an offense, much like the Orioles we've talked about. You just can never count them out. I mean, their strength all the way through, and of course Ramirez having a great series, and now that'll bring up Beckham, who too is having a really good series against the O's.
Beckham an RBI single, and he has flied out twice. There are 2 down, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Ramirez not being held at first. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That's on the inside corner. Beckham is 0 for 4 lifetime off Johnson. 2 runs charged to Strop in a third of an inning. The 0-2 will be fought off at the plate. Beckham remains 2-strike count. He's picked up 5 hits in this series, 5 for 14. I mentioned how he's had a real good series. Britton over there wanting to see that final out. Pitcher record for the Orioles. 0-2 delivery. Again, one of those Mike was talking about, just top foul at the plate.
Yep. And that was his breaking ball. I mean, Jim Johnson, we've talked about him possibly being a starter, as they've talked about it, because he has so many good pitches. Well, that was his breaking ball right there. Has a nice changeup. It's that power sinker that really is dominant pitch.
Runner goes 0-2 up high. Ramirez will take second base. No stolen base. The defensive indifference thing. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Beckham swings and misses, and the Orioles win it. So Jim Johnson comes on to get it done, and the Orioles take 3 out of 4 against the White Sox, winning this one by a score of 5-3. They have a 5-1 homestand. Britton the winner, 4-1. And Tana takes the loss. He is 5-3, and Britton with a magnificent start in this ball game.